Hey there, friends, and welcome to episode 310 of Just the Zoo of Us. This week, I am joined by zoology and science communication powerhouse Lindsay Nikole for a review of some of the animal kingdom's greatest hits throughout the history of the Earth. We discuss ecological gossip, mass extinctions, the Cambrian explosion and evolution's experimental phase, swimming potatoes with googly eyes, giant bugs, the most bizarre prehistoric sharks you've ever heard of, imaginary friend lore, and so much more. I'll also be posting images for visual references to our social media, so if you want to look at pictures of the ancient animals we mentioned during this episode without having to spell them all out into Google, please head over there. Just the Zoo of Us presents Lindsay Nikole's top 3 periods of life on Earth. Hello, everybody. It's Ellen Weatherford with Just the Zoo of Us, your favorite animal review podcast. I'm so excited. I have a brand new friend. This is Lindsay Nikole. Can you say hi, Lindsay?
Hello. How you doing? I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so hyped. Lindsay, before we get started, what are your pronouns?
She, her.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to talk to you because this is not my first time hearing your voice. And I feel like a lot of people, especially people who maybe are doom scrollers like me, maybe have probably come across your face and your voice before, have probably seen you on social media where you put out a lot of really, really cool, really funny, really engaging zoology content. Lindsay, what got you into zoology?
First off, thank you for saying that. I'm glad you like the content.
Of course.
So I originally got into zoology when I was like 18. So kind of a bit later on, I wasn't like a super zoology kid, but when I was in high school, I was obsessed with lions. I would fall asleep listening to videos, YouTube videos on lions every night. And I came across this video to volunteer at a lion sanctuary or a big cat sanctuary in South Africa. And I was starting my senior year and I needed to do a senior project where I did like an internship at the last 3 weeks of my senior year. And I was like, what if I went to South Africa and did it with lions? My school approved it. My parents said, you can go if you can pay for it. So then I got a job so that I could pay for it. I know they weren't expecting me to do that.
Right. That was definitely not, that was like a bluff.
Right. Yeah. They were like, sure. Yeah. If you can afford to go. And I was like, bet.
That's like when you tell your kid they can buy themselves a horse.
Right. And then they save up to buy a horse.
Like, you're not going to do that.
Yeah. So
you called the bluff.
Yeah, I called the bluff. And once it became more of a reality, my dad was like, you know what? I'm going to go with you because I don't want you going to South Africa by yourself. Because at the time, I was just freshly 18 when I went. And so my dad went with me and it was a really cool experience to have with him. We were volunteering, working with big cats. And in that moment, I was ready to go to school for criminology or music. But that was like, okay, I have found something that I know can turn into a real passion. So I ended up doing 1 year of criminology and then I transferred to another school so I could pursue zoology. And I just fell in love with it way more than I expected. I thought I was only going to be interested in big cats, but then I started learning about evolution and how life evolved over time. I started learning about really weird invertebrates and like cool insects I had never heard of. And I realized that I had just been suddenly exposed to this whole world, the natural worlds that has been, it's around us all the time, but we're not necessarily always aware of it. And it was so cool to suddenly become aware of it and start seeing what I was learning in my classes, in my everyday life, just on my walks to classes and stuff, being curious about what's climbing up the trees and stuff. And yeah, it just completely blossoms from there.
The charismatic megafauna are like, they get you in the door.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, hey, yeah, look. Oh, it's so cute, so fluffy. You're going to love this. And then you get in to like liking animals and they're like, we keep the good stuff in the back. Come check out these weird invertebrates.
Check out these beetles and stuff. Yeah.
Like, you want to see the craziest weevil you've ever seen.
Yeah. And they need to warm you up to it. They can't just start off with the weevils. And you know what? I get it. But now I'm super into weevils too. I love some weevils.
Something that you have been working on is this book that is going to be coming out soon. I'm so excited about it. And this is kind of a tour of life on Earth, right? So our podcast is usually about reviewing animals by rating them, but this is a review in the sense of a look back, right? Like a look back on the history of life and animals on our planet and the ways, the funky creative forms that life has taken. Was that kind of like your interest in zoology got you into like natural history? Like how did you get there into like focusing on like natural history?
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird tangent that I had, I guess. When I was 19, I really started to deal with existential anxiety about the future, where I was going, you know, what my place in the universe meant. And I realized that once I started getting into my evolution classes, that it was kind of putting pieces of the puzzle together for me in a really calming way. It felt really good to learn about the past and find comfort in it. And it weirdly made me less anxious about the future. And so as I learned about the mechanisms of evolution and how life evolved from, 4.6 billion years ago, how when the earth formed and then, life started evolving and everything, it was just so comforting. And I just wanted to learn more and more because I felt like it was going to really heal something in me. And I feel like it did. And I wanted to make this book, it's called Epic Earth, to hopefully give people the opportunity to experience that too. I think having that knowledge of where we come from on a massive, massive scale is so valuable in so many different ways.
Yeah, it does feel like demystifying it makes you feel a little more like grounded.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you understand like your place in the world a little bit better and you're like, we're all just little guys.
Yeah, totally. Like I would imagine, a lot of people are freaked out about space, and I get it. Like space is freaky, but I think the more you learn about it, the more comfort you find in it. Same with the deep sea. People are freaked out about what's in the ocean. And when you learn about what's in the ocean, it's not as scary anymore. And so with time, it's kind of that same thing. Once you learn about what existed before, I don't know. It's a weird experience, but yeah.
Were you ever a dinosaur kid?
I wasn't, which is it's so weird because now I totally am. It's like I'm experiencing being a dinosaur kid. Yeah, dinosaurs are sick. I was never into them as a kid, but just how big they got, 130 feet long. Like, it's just nuts. It's ridiculous how cool they are.
Does it make you feel like I was sleeping on dinosaurs? Like,
yes. I mean, honestly, everything that I'm into now, I'm like, why was I not into this as a kid? Like the cool animals, like it would have made going out to the beach such a different experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like just going on trips, going into the forest. Like, yeah, I wish I could have done it differently, but things play out for a reason, I guess.
It feels like I'm notoriously bad about getting into things 5 years after they're popular. So it's like me playing Undertale in like 2021 and being like, everyone's already done talking about this. But like, I'm the one left that's like, no, guys, it's so cool.
I did the same thing with Stardew Valley. I got into it like a year ago and everyone was like, oh yeah, I'm on like year 5 of my farm. Like, oh my God.
But also like, something we've been talking about recently is that a lot of the dinosaur content, and also I feel like a lot of zoology and natural history content does kind of tend to be aimed at kids, because I think they're expecting like the people who are going to be interested in this are probably going to be kids. But then there's people like you, or we've had a lot of guests on the show who are like, I was not into this stuff as a kid, but I'm into it now. Where's the stuff for me?
Yeah. And then if you start to have an interest in it when you're a teenager, then it's like, okay, well, I've outgrown it. And that's a bummer. And so I try to think about that kind of viewer when I make my videos on YouTube. That's my main platform. And I do tons of cool series. I just finished up the history of cats. I did the history of life before. I'm going to be doing the evolution of us, like human evolution soon. But I try to keep in mind this viewer that's maybe starting to go into college and is maybe only starting to get into zoology, because there's really not a lot for them to get excited about and curious and passionate about. Nature documentaries are amazing, but a specific figure, I guess, is not entirely there or wasn't entirely there.
Right. Yeah. I feel like when we were kids, we had this kind of golden era of like the heavy hitters, right? We had like Steve Irwin, like Jeff Corwin and stuff like that. But because of like the media landscape just doesn't allow for that anymore. But what I really like about your videos and the type of content that you make is that there's a lot of humor and there's a lot of like, it feels very relatable and approachable. And like, because a lot of educational material, it's dry, y'all. Like, I get it. I get that, like, you got to commit to, like, accuracy and, but there's, like, we can shed the formality sometimes.
Totally. Yeah. Like, nothing is ever that well, there's plenty of serious things, but a lot of the times it's not that serious. And what I loved most when I was learning about these topics in college was telling my friends about it that weren't in zoology. And just seeing them be like, oh my God, what are you talking about? And so I try and keep that in mind when I'm presenting the information on YouTube as if I'm talking to a friend, because that also helps you retain the information more than, a lecture kind of format. And it just makes it more fun to present the information and research it and figure out like, okay, this is really going to freak people out, or, like that kind of stuff is really, really fun.
It feels like you're gossiping.
Yeah. And why not? Like, why not?
The ecology gossip. It's like, you will never believe who I saw laying her eggs in some other species' nest. Like,
yeah. Or like, you will not believe what that evolved from. Like,
a real glow up, let's just say.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, today we wanted to, in sort of along the same lines as your book, we wanted to go on an eras tour, a highlight reel of some of your favorite geological eras, some of your favorite periods in Earth history. Could you explain a little bit what like an era is? When we talk about like a something era, like, the Jurassic or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like, what does that mean?
So the Jurassic would be a period. So there are many periods within an era, many M&Ms in an M&M bag, I guess.
Many weeks in a month or many months in a year. Okay.
Yeah. Many months. Yeah, that's a way better example.
No, go back. I like M&Ms. Yeah. We were cooking.
Yeah. Just scramble them up and just lost the plot entirely. So a geologic time period is a specific period in Earth's history that can generally be categorized by what kinds of animals were alive at the time, or a lot of the times it's marked by an extinction. The end of one period and the beginning of a new period is marked by a mass extinction or just a very significant extinction. Eras are much bigger than that and kind of are these umbrellas that the periods sit within. So like the Mesozoic era is also called the Age of the Dinosaurs because all three geologic time periods that included the dinosaurs is in the Mesozoic era.
To rewind just a second, you mentioned that they're marked by these mass extinctions. What's happening here? Because I think this is something that we've been hearing about in the news in the last few years, right? But I think that sometimes people maybe don't understand that it wouldn't be the first, right? Like, what happens when there's a mass extinction?
In the history of complex animal life, there have been 5 big mass extinctions, major mass extinctions, where 70% or more of life died out. This is natural in geologic time, and we're talking over hundreds of millions of years. There have been 5 mass extinctions in the last 500 million years. Like, that's a really, really long time. We're hearing it a lot in the news now because this would be the first mass extinction caused by a single species, us. The world is changing constantly, especially over very long periods of time, and so you have continental shifts, volcanic apocalypses that lead to, crazy stuff happening.
Big rock.
Big rock.
Sometimes a big rock.
Sometimes a big rock. Hey, big rock causes big tsunami, causes big other stuff happening at the same time. And obviously, we have no control over that, but we do have control over what we're doing to the planet right now. And so that's why we're hearing it a lot more.
I guess we should work in sort of like chronological order, right? Because we're going to run back the clock to what you had mentioned is your favorite geologic era. How far back are we going?
We're going back 541 million years.
That's so much. That's so many. That's like all the years as far as I know.
Yeah, that's more years than I've been alive, actually.
That's at least as many as I've been alive.
Yeah, that's like more than 4.
It's like more than my mom.
Yeah. Yeah, at 541 million years, I'm going to be honest, that has changed. It might be 539.9 or something, but like something around there.
That's like one of those things where like the human brain like loses the ability to conceptualize a number past like, what is it, like 1 million or something? It's like, we don't have, this is nothing to me.
Right. Like, sure, say whatever number you want. Yeah. Yeah. So we're back 540-ish million years ago. It's the beginning of the Cambrian period. This is the beginning of complex animal life that we know of. There were a couple major animal forms alive beforehand, but this is really when this explosion happens. That's actually called the Cambrian explosion. Probably due to a lot of environmental factors, different nutrients coming into the water. As life is becoming more complex, it inevitably leads to these kinds of compartments made in different ecosystems that animals need to kind of find a niche in and diversify into. And so at this time, animal diversity is just going nuts. And you have these crazy things, something like hallucigenia, which is like this worm-like creature with all these squiggly legs and these like big spikes coming out of it, or this 3-foot-long predator of the time called Anomalocaris that looks like an alien and kind of like looks like it's flying through the water and has these huge kind of antenna-looking things coming from its face.
Pokemon fans know this gentleman. Pokemon fans know him as Anorith.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Have you seen this Pokemon?
I unfortunately was also not into Pokemon.
I mean, listen, it's impressive that you got so into natural history without also being a Pokemon kid, because the Venn diagram of those interests is like nearly a circle.
Yeah, and I just sit right on the border. The one person that's not fitting in it.
Is hallucigenia so named because it looks like a hallucination?
I believe so.
You look at it and you're like, there's no way I'm seeing correctly.
Right. Like this is hallucigenia AF.
Now, I've done a Google search of this fellow.
Yeah.
And he's pretty goofy.
He's goofy looking.
Because the legs and the spikes are all like very heavy metal looking. He looks like he's very intimidating and very scary and spooky. And then the face is just a little blob with little googly eyes. Like,
yeah, little eye spots. Just the simplest possible eyes you could have, because eyes were barely a thing yet. This was really early on in animal evolution. And so
if I shared the ocean with Anomalocaris, I would not be wanting sophisticated eyes either.
Right.
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that, especially because Anomalocaris, the largest specimens found are like 3 feet long. I think hallucigenia was like a centimeter. Just a little guy.
Now, okay, to situate in the Cambrian, you mentioned that, okay, so these are animals, so they've differentiated, life has differentiated into like animals, plants, things like that. Are we working with land yet? Are we on land?
We are not.
No land.
Possibly very, very, very early land plants. Probably not. We really don't have evidence of that. Maybe some fungus, but no animals yet. So in general, life is in the water. Land is just dirt, nothing, no grass, no trees. That's crazy to think about, a time when there was no trees. Grass is like so much later in evolution.
Grass is like basically now.
Grass is basically now. The dinosaurs barely saw grass, which is nuts. It's crazy to think about that.
They could not touch grass if they had wanted to.
No. Yeah.
There were no lives.
It's a shame.
Is this the reign of my boy Opabinia?
Yes.
This is my guy right here.
Yeah.
I love him.
What a freak. He's got 5 eyes.
Which is such a weird number. That's a bizarre number of things to have.
And that's why the Cambrian was so sick, because it was nature's trial run. Nature's acid trip.
The sort of like experimental early days. It's like when a band is still like a little local punk band only playing little local shows, and they can be really weird before they've been signed onto like a big label.
Yeah. Or like a little kid is just starting to learn how to color, and he's making just the weirdest drawings, and you can't even conceptualize what he's trying to do. Like, this was that period.
But you want to foster the creativity. So you're like, great job, evolution.
Yeah, that looks great. We'll put it on the fridge for 30 seconds.
What are the sort of heavy hitters? Who are the predators of this time?
Anomalocaris is definitely that was the largest animal alive at the time that we know of. Leading up to that, there had been no other animals that big. 3 feet long doesn't sound very big, but when you think about animals being a centimeter long, that's huge. There was also this weird thing, not a predator, but super weird if you want to look it up, Wiwaxia. It looks like it's going to turn into a little bomb or something.
It's cute though.
Yeah, it's cute.
It looks like a little roly-poly pangolin sort of thing with little feathery spikes coming. It's cute. I like Wiwaxia.
Yeah, they're super cute. This was also the beginning of animals with a backbone. Another thing we take for granted, having an internal skeleton. So the earliest fishes, they had a backbone, but no jaws. Weird to think about, not having jaws. They just had a mouth opening with probably some very primitive suction in order to eat, but jaws came later. And so this was really a time of simple and experimental stuff.
It's jazz, baby.
It's jazz. The Cambrian is jazz.
It's all about the jaws you don't have.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that.
But I do like that this is like a period of time where, because things aren't really huge, things aren't taking up huge amounts of space in the ecosystem. So like you have so many little opportunities for things to just get as funky and weird and bizarre as they want.
Totally.
What I wouldn't give to just for a time machine.
A time machine and also a shrink machine, because I want to see hallucinogynia in all its glory. Like if I could get down to like an inch long, that would be sick. And then to see a Nomalocaris like that, like a whale probably. They would look like a whale.
I mean, if you're little Wiwaxia or hallucinogynia, this thing's like a Game of Thrones dragon flying around under the water, and you're like, I'm cooked.
Actually,
it's over for me.
Yeah, I'm finished. It was nice being here for the beginning stages. I'm out now. Yeah.
I mean, clearly not all of these were making it to the final round. Some people got voted off the island.
Yes. And I can't remember exactly what the phenomenon is called, but there's something about the specific look of Cambrian creatures that really did not continue into the next period, the Ordovician. Something about what they got going on in the head and everything, that trunk, that proboscis that they have. But things did continue to get pretty weird in the Ordovician. It's not on my list, but I will do a little tangent.
An honorable mention for the Ordovician.
Yes, there were some massive squid-like relatives with these huge straight cones. They could get to like 18 feet long. They would just swim horizontally in the water column, and like things got big very quickly. Because again, it was early stages, like, why not?
Is this the time of my other boy? Oh, so Oppibinia is one of my boys. I have another boy. This is my other son, Sacabombaspis.
Yes! Sacabombaspis.
Is he in the Ordovician? I don't know when he happens.
He is. Yes.
This is my favorite creature. He's a potato with a little tail.
He's a cutie. I love him so much. His little mouth hole, because again, no jaws yet. But he did have the earliest evidence of something called a lateral line that all fishes have today, which is really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it allows fish to detect movement in the water, and that's what allows schools of fish to stay all tight and everything. They have to feel where everybody else is going, otherwise that would just be chaos. And so Sacabombaspis fossils have some of the earliest evidence of that, which is really sick.
That's a pioneer.
A pioneer, yeah. Pioneer of his time.
He was ahead of the game. He was too early, I guess. They weren't ready for him.
No, they weren't.
I'm a big fan of him because he has such a little like online fandom. And I was at the mall, literally in Seattle, like a year ago maybe, and I'm in one of these little import stores, that's got like anime figurines, and they've got like a wall of like random plushies that they ordered off Temu, and there's this Sacabombaspis plushie in this store in the mall, and I picked it up. I was like, are you joking right now?
Did you get it?
I did not get it, but I did take a picture with it because
God.
As soon as I picked it up, I could feel that it looked like it was just like full of little like styrofoam beads and stuff like that. And I was like, this is going to be a nightmare in probably like 2 weeks. This thing's busting right open on the way home, I think. But I was just like, why is there merch of this like
oh my God.
Ordovician creature?
And you know what? Well deserved. He needs some merch.
If it was going to be one of them. Now, I have heard that the famous reconstruction of them with the googly eyes is a little bit of an injustice.
I think it's fair to say it's outdated. There's plenty of, I think it comes from, I don't remember what museum, but it's some reconstruction in a museum that was just, they took various angled pictures of it, and each one is just the best thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh,
just
man.
Looks so shocked and surprised, but
he's great.
Yeah.
No notes, no changes.
But it is pretty cool. Sacabambaspis is thought to have had forward-facing eyes, which is not typical of fishes. So that's cool, at least, because otherwise wouldn't be as cute.
That's true. Yeah, that front-on view wouldn't be great with sideward facing. Although then you get the bird effect, right? When you see a bird from head on, that's pretty fun.
That's true. That's very true. All right, maybe I take back what I said. I'm going to need to see a drawing of Sacabambaspis all messed up with side eyes.
To go back to the Cambrian, though, what took out all my crazy weird boys?
You know what? It wasn't a mass extinction. There was a significant extinction, but it wasn't one of the big five. I want to say it was overall shifts in temperature and things that they just weren't really ready to.
Harsh the vibe.
You know. Yeah, just messed up the vibe.
The parents came home early and turned on all the lights, and they're like, everyone get out of here.
Yeah.
And the party had to scatter.
Yeah, the cops came and shut the party down.
Everything was going great.
Yeah. Yeah, the Cambrian was like Project X.
It's firefighter.
Yeah.
Hey there, we're going to take a quick break to hear from our friends on the Maximum Fun Network. When we get back, we are going to talk about Lindsay Nikole's top 2 periods of life on Earth. So stay with us.
Hi, I'm Travis McElroy. I'm here with Maria, and we're excited because as a member of the month, Maria, thank you so much for being a listener and a supporter of the show.
Hi.
How did you find out about the shows?
When my daughter was in high school, we kind of connected over Taz. She introduced me to Schmanners and Sawbones.
What made you decide to become a Max Fun member?
I kind of decided that with the economy being so difficult, it was worth me giving up my Starbucks to join in with you guys.
Well, Maria, I owe you a cup of coffee then. At some point, I'll get a cup of coffee into your hands to pay you back.
Okay.
Maria, again, thank you so much for your support.
Thank you very, very much for your time and getting a chance to be the member of the month. My daughter was shocked when she found out about it, so I can't wait for her to actually maybe catch a little bit of this. I can rub it in her face a little bit.
That's what we do it for. Thank you, and thanks to everybody for your support. Maria, have a great month.
You have an amazing month as well.
Become a Max Fun member now at MaximumFun.org/join. Hey there. Do you like books about various shades of gray?
Maybe 50 of them? Or books about winged men searching for soulmates?
Is your e-reader full of stories that would pair well with Barry White in the background?
We're Bria and Mallory of Reading Glasses, and we have a brand new show for people who crave reads with just a dash of sriracha sauce.
That's right. Every other Friday, we dive into books that can be measured on the Scoville scale and talk to the people who love them.
You can find our new show by visiting MaximumFun.org/spicy. That's MaximumFun.org/spicy.
Okay, so we've got Cambrian, we've got an honorable mention for the Ordovician. Where are we going next on our Eras tour?
All right, we're going to about 330 million years ago, the Carboniferous period. So, quick recap. A lot happened between the Cambrian and the Carboniferous. Plants came onto land. All animals came onto land. First, it was the invertebrates, like little millipedes and worms. And then vertebrates came on, the classic Tiktaalik, that transitional, weird, fish-like, amphibian-like fossil.
Yeah, patient zero.
Patient zero. So yeah, everyone's on land, everyone's at the party. And the Carboniferous got super weird because plants just exploded in diversity. And so they were just pumping out tons of oxygen into the atmosphere, which insects and related groups, they love that. They love lots of oxygen.
Huge for us.
Yeah, huge for them.
Big for me.
Yeah. The way their respiratory systems works, it allows them to get a lot bigger. So you had massive griffin flies, which are like dragonflies, called Meganeura. They had like a 3-foot long wingspan. Imagine a dragonfly with a 3-foot long wingspan. That's pretty nuts. There's a couple reconstructions. There's this like woman holding a model of it.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, pretty cool looking.
Would hate to be a mosquito during this time.
Yes.
Would
also hate to be here during this time. As much as I love it, this would be brutal.
Now, is that because there's a lot of things that would actually mess you up, or just because of a personal sort of like distaste for insects and bugs?
Personal fear. I'm getting over it. Like, I'm getting there. There was one millipede relative called Arthropleura alive at the time. They got to about 10 feet long.
I would love this.
Yeah, I mean, they look like gentle giants, but how would I feel waking up there one day? Probably not great.
There was this like post that was going around not too long ago that I had a bunch of people send me that was like, oh, if you had to spend 24 hours in like one of these periods of time, which one would it be? And every time someone said it to me, I was like, easy, Carboniferous. Like, first of all, everything there is a bug and they're probably not interested in me. Second of all that oxygen in the air, I mean, I'm breathing air premium.
Yeah.
Like, I got like the McDonald's Sprite of air right now. Like, it is crisp.
Yeah, the Baja Blast of air. So refreshing. You could probably go running for 30 miles and not get winded.
I'm doing great, actually. This is fantastic for me. Catch me in my 3-foot long dragonfly. Yeah,
so you can be in the Carboniferous. I'll be at the Cambrian. We can meet somewhere in the middle, maybe the Silurian or something. Yeah. The Carboniferous, I like it for the concept of it. It's one of my favorites for the fact that it existed, not because I necessarily want to go there. I've always had an issue with insects. I'm getting over it. I would say I used to be very arachnophobic. I'm getting over it.
100%. That's me. That's 100% me. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like maybe this would be good exposure therapy if I went to the Carboniferous, or it would set me back a very long time.
You'd be like, that's it actually for me. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm staying inside in my home at the present time.
I have also been I've been repairing my relationship with bugs and spiders.
I have a thing specifically with spiders. I don't know why. And when people find out that I study zoology, they're like, how are you afraid of spiders? You're a zoologist. It's like, that doesn't change anything.
There's so many animals that aren't spiders.
Right. And just because I learned about them doesn't mean I'm suddenly not freaked out by them. But in the last couple years, I've really tried to make it a point to like just chill out around them. And I recently went to Namibia. I was there a couple months ago, and I did an internship there at the Cheetah Conservation Fund 6 years ago. And I came back and I did a video with them, and I showed everyone the kind of work they do to rescue and rehabilitate and release cheetahs in Namibia. They're unbelievable, but there are also some pretty heinous spiders there. And the room that I was staying in just a couple months ago had this massive, I feel like they called it a wolf spider, but I don't know if that's technically accurate, but it was like big and thick, very meaty.
You're like, this will be your roommate.
Yes, he was my roommate. The walls were very, very high. There was absolutely no way I could even capture him to get him out. Like, he was just there. And I got used to him. And I was like, you know what? He was here before me. This is his house. I'm the visitor. And I've tried to adopt that now that I've gotten back. I have a couple spiders in my place, and it's like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're not messing with me. Actually, they're probably benefiting me by getting flies and stuff. So I'm getting there.
Yeah.
But do I want one crawling on my face in the middle of the night? No.
Well, I mean, you have boundaries with everybody, right? Like, I have a lot of friends that I would rather not wake up to find them crawling on my face in the middle of the night, and I still like them.
That's a very good point. I like your thinking.
You can have boundaries with all of your friends.
Yeah.
Some animals can be at a distance friend, a long range friend.
Yeah, probably most of them should.
I don't want to be in melee range of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I like about the Carboniferous is all the funky plants. Because I feel like this is like the plant Cambrian almost, like where they're like, ooh, we got a new place where nothing here is going to eat us. Because none of them have figured out how to live up here yet. So we're going to be real silly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lepidodendron, super cool. Was Sigillaria alive at the time? I think so. They were like massive. They got to like, and trees today also get to 100 feet tall. But at the time, 100 feet, that's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing had reached 100 feet yet.
I'm looking up because I know that we have, up in the Pacific Northwest, we have horsetails. And
Yes.
horsetails, I had heard, were kind of like remnants of those old like not like the same exact like species that we still have now, but that like horsetails were some of those like OG like first plants to make it out of the water. Every time I see them, I just get this feeling of I'm like, ooh, like this is what the first plants on land would have looked like when like the world would have been covered with these.
Yeah, and that's the coolest feeling ever. Horsetails are in a very, very early group of land plants. Land plants at the time were only reproducing with spores. Seeds came later, and that was like, honestly, the best invention in the entire history of the world, I think. Like, if you think about seeds, they're so resistant to environmental stressors. Like, they can stay in the ground, dormant forever. Spores are a lot more fragile. You don't really have any protection that you're working with. So early plants, I mean, there's still plants around, obviously, that are spore producing, but seeds, that's my stuff. I like the seeds.
The future is seeds.
Yeah, the future is seeds. And eggs, animals ended up doing the same thing with eggs, the amniotic egg specifically.
Oh, I don't think I'd ever like made the connection between those two things of like seed is just plant egg or egg is just animal seed, I guess.
There's so many similarities when you really place them together with a long list of everything they got going on. They're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
They're actually not, but they might as well be.
But like usually when we look at like convergent evolution, it's usually things that are like kind of close together already.
Yeah.
But like thinking about convergent evolution between like animals and plants, like because of how long they've been removed from each other, like is really, I feel like mind blowing.
Totally. And even in just how evolution works on a small scale, like one of the things I learned in animal behavior is that animals in groups, like let's say ground squirrels or like meerkats or something, will tend to distribute resources in a very calculated way. Like they don't do the calculations, but it's in a calculated way of the more closely related they are to that other individual, the more resources they're willing to share with them, even if it doesn't benefit them at all, because they're sharing kind of the same genes. And plants tend to do that too. Like trees can tell which tiny little saplings belong to them. And so they're doing that same kind of thing, which I only learned about recently, which that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about plants because I think that's a very untapped area of just like placing assumptions on them because they're so different from us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's hard to observe what they have going on because they're working at a different time scale from us.
Yeah.
Like they're not like doing things quickly so you can just like watch them and see them do something. Like it takes like time lapse footage or like repeated observation over a long time to like get a feel for what a plant is doing.
Yeah. Love plants. But I don't know much about them. That's about as far as my plant knowledge goes.
I have a very good friend of mine, Dr. Vikram Baliga, is a plant professor. He's a professor of horticulture. So if you ever need someone have questions about plants, you want to learn something about plants, I'll hook you up with my friend Vikram.
I will definitely be hitting you up.
Okay. Did everything go fine for the Carboniferous, or was there a mass extinction at the end of this? Did everything go bad?
Well, there was this period within the Carboniferous called the Carboniferous rainforest collapse.
Oh, no.
So this was kind of a distinction that happened within the period. So the end of the Carboniferous was, from what I remember, it's not a mass extinction. However, my third period on the list does end in a horrific mass extinction.
Oh, boy.
That I'm sure I'm very excited to talk about.
Okay, let's hear it. Where are we going next?
Actually, we're immediately after the Carboniferous, so no need to update you on anything. This is the Permian period. It ended about 250 million years ago. The Permian was another time of innovation, exploration. There were some really weird shark-like relatives like Helicoprion that had this weird
the buzzsaw
jaw.
The weirdest guy.
Yeah, super weird. Other ones like Adestus that essentially had two buzzsaw jaws.
One wasn't enough.
Yeah. I know you are going to really like Stethecanthus if you haven't heard of them yet.
I've never heard of this. How do you spell this?
Steethacanthus.
hello, what's happening here? What? It's an anvil.
Yeah, so
He's got a hat.
yeah. He's got that little patch and then also an ironing board dorsal fin looking thing.
What on earth?
Super cute.
Why? Is this a platform? Is this like it looks like a loading bay? It looks like a landing platform.
I know. So it's something that scientists are still trying to figure out because it's obviously very unusual.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest hypotheses I've seen is that it was somehow involved in mating and that the
Ooh.
ironing board might have been inflatable.
No, that's okay.
Right.
What?
Right.
This cannot be. I cannot allow this.
I know. Yeah, I read it and I was like, I mean, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life, unfortunately.
Accepted purely on frivolity.
Yes. Yeah, but Sethocanthus was really cool. All of the shark relatives were really sick at this time. This was also the time of one of my favorite extinct animals, Dimetrodon. Yes. So a lot of people think that Dimetrodon is a dinosaur. Nope. More closely related to us than dinosaurs.
It's one of
They
ours.
were-
We got this one.
It's one of ours. It's on our team. The synapsid team.
Oh.
Another big split that happened in the evolution of animals was between synapsids, which would eventually lead to mammals, and sauropsids, which are, reptiles, birds, and dinosaurs, turtles, crocodilians, all that. So synapsids, when you look at Dimetrodon, it looks like it would be on the sauropsid side.
It's giving lizard.
It's giving lizard. But synapsids have a very characteristic skull. They have a single temporal fenestra, which is this opening behind the eye socket.
Mm.
So each eye socket behind it, there's an opening called the temporal fenestra. In sauropsids, they either have no temporal fenestra or two sets of temporal fenestra. So you can tell just in the skull if something's a synapsid or a sauropsid, which is really, really cool. And especially early on when these distinctions were only starting to be made and you couldn't really tell the difference between an early reptile and a stem mammal. Like Dimetrodon had the sprawled out stance like lizards do today.
Wide stance.
Yeah, that wide stance. Eventually mammals would go more upright because it made sense. But yeah, Dimetrodon was sick. They had that big sail. It's thought to have been an early stage of thermoregulation, which is like maintaining their internal body temperature. Might have helped warm them up by tipping over and basking in the sun or, cool down in a breeze with, just standing straight up. So Dimetrodon, thumbs up.
Okay, first, I want to share a really, really quick, like the quickest possible nonsense tangent about Dimetrodon specifically. When I was really little, I had this imaginary friend named Babby. I was 4. I don't know why her name was Babby. But for
Love it.
2 years, my grandmother and I would have fun telling these little makeup, pretend stories about me and Babby. Babby, my imaginary friend. And then one day my grandmother's telling the story with me and she said something about Babby brushing her hair. And I start cracking up. And I'm like, Babby doesn't have hair. And my grandmother's like, why does your imaginary friend not have hair? I was like, she's a Dimetrodon.
No way.
So for 2 years. There's a Dimetrodon in the background of a single scene in The Land Before Time, which was my special interest movie when I was a kid, and I watched it at least 300 times. And
Yeah.
I decided this one background creature was it's that's her. That's my friend.
I love that. I also had an imaginary friend that was not a person. It was a giant bear that wore a red t-shirt and a red hat.
That
and his name
rules.
was Max.
That's great.
Yeah.
Was that from anything or just straight off the dome?
I think so. I mean, maybe I'm sure I watched something actually that had something in it like that. I just don't remember it. But
I love the specificity though.
yeah, always a red hat, always a red t-shirt. And it was one of those hats that, a kid would draw on. It wasn't a nice hat. A very, very simple imaginary friend.
That rules. That's awesome. Okay, the other thing, I wanted to go back to the thing that you mentioned that the synapsids and the sauropsids could be told apart by this, extra sort of hole that they have in their skull. What does that do? Does that leave room for something? I guess functionally, What is
Helps
that?
with muscle attachment.
Oh, I see. So does it seem like that whole like contributed to like why these two branches evolved so differently?
That's a good question. I'm sure it did, but eventually animals on both sides would have insane bite forces and everything, or just capabilities with their jaws. But generally, you know, if you think about a snake, if you've ever seen the skull of a snake, it's very open. There's a lot of space for muscle attachment there.
I just put together a Lego set of a T-Rex skull.
Yeah.
And there was, that gave me a real sort of intimate, detailed familiarity with the T-Rex skull. And there are a lot of like chambers and there's a lot of negative space.
Oh yeah, because they were working with a lot.
Yeah. Actually, where up in Seattle at the Burke Museum of Natural History, they have the Tufts Love T-Rex skull, which is, I think, like one of the most complete like T-Rex skulls like ever dug up.
Oh, how cool.
And they've got it in the museum. You can go see it. Because I guess a UW team was one of the teams that dug it up. I think they found it in Montana. But so, yeah, you can like get right up. There's like glass, you know, you can't like touch it or anything like that. But you can get like right up to this like giant T-Rex skull. And it really gives you an appreciation for like, first of all, how big these things got. But second of all, like how much they could have like packed muscle onto there.
Yeah, I am so glad they're not alive today.
It would be them or us. I don't think
genuinely.
I don't think we could have.
They would be the intelligent species.
You know what? It's the hands. It's the hands. They wouldn't.
Yeah,
they'd have a real hurdle.
That's true. Maybe they would have. Their first tools would have been hand extenders.
There you go.
You know,
grabbies.
Yeah.
Is the Permian the period of placoderms, or was that a different period?
Placoderms were earlier. So you're thinking like Dunkleosteus and like
that's him,
stuff like that. Yeah,
he's him.
Yeah, they were a bit earlier. I don't know if you heard, but Dunkleosteus got shrunk recently.
I saw he got not the nerve.
I know,
not the patch.
They shrunk the dunk.
No, he's forever 30 feet long in my heart.
I know, it's so disappointing, but I guess science is science.
That made them 50 times funnier, though. Having that giant noggin.
I know, all like, yeah, all squished up.
Like you took them in MS Paint and just like dragged them together.
Literally, that is what they did.
Do you have any Permian favorites? Any favorite Permian creatures?
Dimetrodon, Helicoprion, also Cotylarhynchus.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a tiny head.
Tiny head. Tunnel system for a body.
This thing's built like a tank.
It's built like a barrel. The biggest barrel you can find. They're so.
What is this?
Another synapsid.
This is one of ours?
This is one of ours, unfortunately. Yeah.
We really put our best foot forward with Dimetrodon, and then
Dimetrodon was our key player at the time. Cotylarhynchus, I don't know much about other than their appearance. I know they were herbivores, but I kind of just, all I needed to know was their appearance, you know, like
it says a lot.
It says a lot, and that's it.
It's so goofy. It's difficult this thing looks like it's from Star Wars.
Yeah. It looks like an easily rideable animal, though.
Oh, yeah. Very rideable. A lot of real estate up there for saddle space.
Yes. Very sophisticated saddles, probably.
You know what? They look like a kid drew one. Like a kid was trying to draw a lizard. Like a little kid was trying to draw a lizard, and they get all the proportions wrong, and everything's sticking out at weird angles and stuff.
Yeah. Or maybe they were trying to draw their family house cat that's 18 pounds or something.
And they forgot to draw ears.
Yeah. They were so focused on the body.
Like, I'm really highlighting the important feature here, which is the rotundness of the body.
Yeah.
The roundness is really a defining characteristic.
Yeah. Didn't even realize my cat had ears.
Was not important.
Yeah.
What happened to our Permian babies?
Boy, oh boy.
Everything.
Yeah. So the Permian was characterized by the splitting of Pangaea.
The band broke up.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? The splitting of Pangaea is not even relevant. I don't know why I brought that up.
It's interesting,
true,
though.
But it's, yeah.
Happy to hear about it.
So it is thought that up to 90% of all species on the planet went extinct during the Permian extinction. and up to 96% in the oceans. That's
Jeez.
unimaginable.
It's like barren. It's like a wasteland.
Yeah, that is ecosystems being destroyed from the ground up. That is like nothing left.
That's like apocalyptic.
Yeah, that is not just emptying niches, but just destroying them and leaving animals to rebuild what an ecosystem looks like entirely. Like, that's crazy.
Just a full hard reset on like the world. This is like power cycle. Just turn it off, turn it back on again, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Mother Nature was like, you know what, we're starting over here. I've seen enough. The Trilorhynchus went way too far.
It was like, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I've seen enough.
Run it back.
Yeah. So there have been a lot of different ideas because, with the dinosaur mass extinction, we've got the crater, we've got the iridium all over the world, we've got solid evidence, very clear evidence that the asteroid did it. With the Permian, there wasn't something that clear. It was thought maybe an asteroid, maybe a nearby supernova, maybe this, maybe that. The best evidence that we have is volcanoes. And that is the most widely accepted. It has a ton of evidence. There are these lava flows up in Siberia that point to evidence that over 1 million, I might be wrong about this number, but it's 1 million something, 1 million square kilometers or cubic kilometers or something of lava came out during this time period, which is just insane.
That's too much.
It's too much, and led to a lot of, greenhouse gases being thrown up into the atmosphere and really just messed everything up. And so you had a period of extreme heat, a period of extreme cold, just this bouncing back and forth in the global temperatures that left species completely unable to adapt. Oxygen completely left the oceans, species just suffocated in the waters. And so after the Permian is when the ancestors to dinosaurs, archosaurs, started to pick up the pieces. But then after that, there was the Triassic mass extinction. There was a mass extinction immediately after in the period following.
Simply cannot catch a break.
No, they couldn't catch a break. And so this span of, it must have been 50 million years, you had the Permian mass extinction and then the Triassic mass extinction. And because of that, dinosaurs found their way to evolve and completely take over the world, which is really sick. It wasn't necessarily about competition and becoming, working their way to the top. It was this availability, this opportunity to pick up the pieces and become what they came.
Yeah, like it's just the fact that like, okay, well, everyone else is gone. So I guess it's my turn to be really big.
Yeah. And boy, oh boy, did they get big.
With only one weakness, and that's a giant rock.
But hey, can you blame them?
No, I guess my weakness is also a giant rock. So
yeah,
it's the great equalizer.
Yes.
Oh, I did want to ask, because you mentioned that this was like largely from, volcanic activity. Is that to say that like there was like a particular volcano that was like really, really active? Or was it like volcanoes everywhere are just popping off? Like it's just real volcano hours.
It was in a specific area, the Siberian traps. So it was like just an outpouring of lava from that area, but it was a very large area. It wasn't like one like mountain volcano you would think of. It was like miles and miles.
I remember even from like more sort of famous, like within human history, even like one volcano, a particularly like dramatic eruption can have like global physical repercussions, right?
Yeah.
So like, I mean, even just from like people were documenting like Mount Vesuvius's eruption, in like Africa and Asia and stuff, like people from, the other side of the continent could tell that something had happened. So, and that was just from one volcano erupting, right? Like, I can imagine if you had something like that, it would just be like the world would go dark.
And it did.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. Yeah. Light could barely penetrate the atmosphere. And that happened, with the asteroid. But yeah, our planet is quite the chaotic guy.
Turns out light, kind of important.
Kind of need it.
You do need that.
Yeah.
A couple years ago in the 2017 solar eclipse. Do you remember that eclipse? Did you get to see that one?
I unfortunately didn't.
Oh man.
But I saw it on social media.
Yeah. My husband and I traveled for it.
Oh,
So
awesome.
we were in South Carolina, and we were like
Nice.
in a park in like the like path. It was like a state park right in the path of totality. And the thing that was the most surprising to me was that when this total solar eclipse happened, immediately everything just suddenly becomes dark, like nighttime dark. And all of the birds stopped chirping. Like all of the birds fell silent. And that was immediate. But after like 20, 30 seconds, the frogs and crickets started.
Oh.
Like the nighttime, like the nocturnal animals, they started. So they're like, all right, I guess we're doing this now. This feels weird because it's like 3 p.m., right? But they're
Yeah.
like, all right, I guess it seems dark. And then like the frogs and the crickets start chirping. And then, it lasts like 3 minutes. And then when the sun comes back out, they're all like, oh, you woke me up for nothing. Like, they all just, they all go back to sleep and the birds wake back up. But like, it was to see the animals respond to like something so drastic so fast was like really, really, really cool.
Yeah. Could you imagine what it looked like halfway across the world for the dinosaurs from the asteroid?
I wonder if you'd hear it.
Yeah. Or if you could feel it. I'm sure you could, that was insane.
Right. You'd know something's up.
Yeah. Something was weird. I think if I had to travel back in time to see one moment, it would be the moment the asteroid hit.
Just to see what it would look like.
Yeah. And to see how animals responded and the way it must have felt.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I want to know, though.
I know that, the Permian comes before the dinosaurs, but before we wrap up, I would like to have an honorable mention for our lost homies, the dinosaurs.
Of course.
We do need to pour one out. Do you want to give a shout out to your favorite dinosaur? Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
I do, but I always forget what its name is. It's a sauropod that looks like it has a mohawk.
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Bahatosaurus.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know exactly that one. Yes, that was really, really cool.
Yeah, that one's super sick. Also, Diabloceratops is super sick.
Oh, I don't think I know that one.
I have that one tattooed on me.
Really?
So I should have said that one first.
Whoa, this one's awesome. Look at those horns.
Yeah, gnarly.
I get where the name is from now because that's very cool.
Yeah.
That rules.
Yeah. I like spiky animals, I think. Bahatosaurus, they've got those spikes.
You like them pointy?
Yeah.
I like a pointy guy.
Oh, yeah. How about you? What's your favorite dinosaur?
I've always had a soft spot for Maiasaura, which I believe was a duck-billed dinosaur. And I think that I had a really positive experience of seeing a museum exhibit with a reconstruction of one with a nest. And I think the thing about them was that they were excavated with lots of them had nests together, and that the mothers were usually spent a lot of time with the nests and stuff, and they were just known for having a lot of parental care. And I think that was just really charming to me. I think I really I remember that standing out to me when I was a kid, Maiasaura.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a Spinosaurus girly. I love Spinosaurus
Okay.
so much.
Spinosaurus, big fan. Not a big fan to talk about, though, because, they're so confusing.
Well, I mean, you
So-
wait 5 minutes and you're going to be wrong. So
I know. Yeah.
Every year they put out a patch. Every year they're like, all right, they're not aquatic anymore. And this
Yeah.
time they're predators. And next time they're going to be herbivores. So stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. Remember what we said last year? Now it's the complete opposite of that. So cross your notes off. Yeah, Maiasaurus means mother dinosaur.
Oh, that's my girl. I love her.
Yeah. There's a transitional whale called Maiacetus that was also found with, I believe they were named that because there was evidence that they were still giving birth on land at
Brave.
the time. Very brave. If you look up Maiacetus, definitely a bit heinous looking.
I love a heinous creature. Oh,
Yeah.
cursed.
Yeah.
The illustration is unkind. The illustration
Yeah.
I pulled up is unflattering. It's giving shrink wrapped.
The one with the baby is heinous.
That's devastating. That
Yeah.
that looks like the cart titan from Attack on Titan. I don't like that.
Yeah, your Myosaurus is a lot cuter.
Make it cuter. Make them cuter.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay, thank you so much for this tour of your favorite eras. For people who want to learn more about the history of life on Earth, tell people where they can find your book.
Yeah, so my book, Epic Earth, is going to be out November 11th. You can get it on my website or in any major bookstores, also on any major online bookstores. It's really cool. It's illustrative. I hope you like it as much as I do. You can also find my videos on YouTube with my name, Lindsay Nikole. That's Nicole with a K, Nikole. And same on TikTok and Instagram.
It's a beautiful book. I'll have links to everything in the episode description. So anybody who is hungry for more can go click through and pre-order the book, follow you on social media and everything like that. Lindsay, thank you so much for hanging out. It has been an absolute delight. Thank you for your time and your knowledge and your humor. It has been a blast.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you all so much for listening. I hope that if you ever get your hands on a time machine, you now know exactly which period you'll be going to. I'll meet you in the Carboniferous, right under the 100-foot-tall horsetail. If you liked what you heard, I would love it if you left behind some kind words for us in a review on your podcast app of choice. If you want to hang out with us online, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Blue Sky. Links to everything will be in the episode description. You can also send me an email at ellen@justthezooofus.com if you have a cool animal you'd like to hear us talk about on the show. We would like to thank Maximum Fun for having us on their network alongside their other wonderful shows like the ones you heard promos for here today. You can go check those out and learn more about the network and how you can be a part of supporting our show over at MaximumFun.org. Finally, we'd like to thank Louis Zong for our theme music. That's all for today. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly
by you.